What's good, guys? It's Stocks Trades here again. And in today's video, I'm gonna be talking about last week trades. We will be going through last week trades, and it was amazing last week trades. 'Cause I made loss and I made gain, and everything was just equal. So let's go through last week trades. So first of all, I'm gonna be moving to last week. So I basically just made a loss of just $1 in total. And this was what happened. This was literally what happened last week. We made some losses, 0.05 cents. We made $2 profit. We made another $1 loss. We made another $65 profit. We made a 21-cent loss. We made a $10 loss. This $10 right here was so freaking annoying because I knew the fuck I was doing. I knew what I was doing for real. But it didn't just go my way because it reached a certain level and then started retesting back to a valued point B. And then when it reached that valued point B, that valued point B was actually where my stop loss was. And then from that value point B, it hit my stop loss and started retesting back up. And that shit was just so annoying because I was like, bro, I knew what the fuck I was doing. Because the trade eventually went my way, but I couldn't just do anything again because my stop loss was exactly where it actually got retested. And that was what made me really mad. But at the same time, I was so happy because the trade actually went my way. And that shows that I actually know what the fuck I'm doing, you feel me? So yeah, that was it for that. And then I got another $4 profit and a $3 profit. So it was a good for yesterday trade. I think for yesterday trade, a $2. I made a $3 profit. This was yesterday trade. So I journaled my trade down because I always do that. I know you was actually seeing $35, but I made some withdrawals, so it's back to 28. It was back to 25, and then I made $3 profit, and then it got back to 28. Partially $3 profit though. So this is the journal I use. This is the FX journal I use. So this actually tracks your percent and your performance, everything you need to know about your Forex journey. I'm not doing any promotion or whatever, but this is the Forex journal I use. You got to put in the work for it to actually play out, for you to actually see your result. It's not like other Forex journal that actually just automatic do your stuff for you. This one you actually have to do it yourself. So this was the trade I took yesterday. So this was a mistake. So I lost 0.20% in this trade. It wasn't much. It was just a 5 cent loss. Look at it over here. It was just a 5 cent loss. And how did I feel like? What made me got into this trade? The trade opened tweet. It was a 3 touch points trend line. Had over a week's worth of data. High risk setup, but reduced my lot size. My market was on a downtrend. So this was the chart over here. So the market was actually on a downtrend. It was on a downtrend like this, and then it broke my action line, and then my stop loss was over here at my support line. The green line is actually my support line. That is also my safety line. So my stop loss was actually on down my safety line, and then it broke my action line, and then I got in a little bit too late because price was already going up to this resistance level here. This was where my TP was. So I got in at this particular spot and then started retesting, and then I got scared and I went off this market because it was actually a mistake. And then I already got into this one. It was still the same thing, but a little bit different. Trade open 3 touch point trend line, has over a week's worth of data, high risk setup, but reduced my lot size. Market was on a downtrend, and we had a clean break. Yeah, we definitely had a clean break. And what made me close this trade? This was what made me enter this trade. And this was what made me close the trade. It was already on a resistance spot, and I had to just get off the trade before anything happened. Right now, it's on consolidation. We don't always like going on the consolidation market type shit. So this was what made me get off the trade, and I was so happy I got off the trade because everything actually played out just the way I wanted it to. It's just that I had to just reduce my lot size, which made me didn't earn a lot of money. But still, I was so happy that I trained went out, play out good because my strategy is an amazing strategy. I actually use the TLT strategy just like Toby trades. So this was what made me got off the trade. I closed at half profit. This was actually half profit because I was actually aiming for this resistance level over here. But I said to myself, I'm always gonna follow my strategy now because sometimes I do disobey the rules. I ain't gonna lie. But this time around, it got to this resistance level and started consolidating at the spot. And that was my signal for me to get off the market because if it started consolidating, it might actually just go down. It might actually just give a fake out or change directions type shit, and I might just lose all my money. So I just gotta secure or have profit because you don't gotta be greedy in this space. I ain't gonna lie, you ain't gotta be greedy because when you're greedy, I'm telling you, you're gonna always lose money. So that's it. So I closed on half profit, was already at the first resistance zone, and price was likely to retest from that zone. Regardless, I was confident with this trade. Yeah, so that's it, guys. That's basically it on my journey. I already promised myself I ain't gonna make no withdrawals no more. So let's keep getting this. We're gonna get this to $50 we're gonna get this account to $50, and after that we're gonna be targeting $100, and from $100 $300. That's how we're gonna keep getting. I know I can do it. I know you all are watching me. Peace.